All right, thanks for hanging in there, listening to my recorded voice. And last example here, and then I'm going to have one more that you do. And so far, everything's been really neat and orderly for us. We've gotten these nice, rational um, whole number answers. So let's see what happens here. Find the zeros. So factors of 9 over factors of 1. So it can be plus or minus 1, 3, or 9 over 1. So 1, 3, or 9 plus or minus are only possible rational roots. And fourth power, so we can have up to 4 zeros. So let's see what happens. Grab your graphing calculator. I'll grab my Wolfram Alpha. I think I typed it out here, right? Yep, I'm going to graph it. And as I wait for my graph to come up, I fill time. Looks like it crosses it at a couple places. 3, it's a good one. Some fraction, and maybe negative 3. So it does look like it does it 4 times. 3 and negative 3. But remember, my only possibilities for rationals were these whole numbers, 1, 3, and 9. So let's see what's going on. So possible would be 3 and negative 3. So 3 would come from x minus 3. Negative 3 would come from x plus 3. Let's divide out this minus 3 and see if it is a 0. So 3, remember I used the root. 1x to the 4th, 2x cubes, negative 10x squared, negative 18x's, and 9 1's. Bring that down, multiply. Doing that synthetic division. Add, multiply. That's an ugly negative 10, so that makes that a 5. Multiply, 15, add, negative 3. That gives me a negative 9, 0. Good, so that works. So basically, I've factored out the x minus 3, and I'm left with, it was a fourth power, so now it's a 1 x cubed plus 5x squareds plus 5x's minus 3. So now I'm going to see if this x plus 3 goes into that, what's left. And I'll do synthetic division. I'll use the root, the 0, the negative 3. Bring down the 1. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 5 times negative 3 is 2. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. Add that. Becomes a negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 3 is 3. 0. Good, that works. Yeah, so my zeros that I have so far are 3 and negative 3. So I factored out an x minus 3 already. I factored an x plus 3 out of here. And what's left is, this was a cubic, so this would be a square, x squared plus 2x minus 1. I'm not going to be able to factor that. I could use my calculator. I'm going to use quadratic formula to see what happens. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So that's negative 2 plus or minus. 2 squared is 4. Negative times a negative is positive, so this is plus 4 over 2. So I have negative 2 plus or minus square root of 4 plus 4 is 8 over 2. 8, I'm square rooting that. 4 times 2, whoops, 4 times 2 square root of 4 is 2. So it's negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 2 over 2. Do this division, 2 goes into there, 2 goes into there. So it leaves me negative 1 plus or minus root 2. So my other two zeros would be negative 1 plus root 2 and negative 1 minus root 2. Notice they're not rational. They came in this nice pair, conjugate pair, but they're not rational. That's minus. Sorry. Minus for that. But these are my zeros. And negative 1 root 2, negative 1 plus root 2, negative 1 minus root 2 show up on the graph. Those ones will show up just in these spots. So we could estimate where they are, estimate them decimal-wise. There's the zeros. So these zeros that come out of this last quadratic don't have to be rational. They don't have to be fractions. They could have ended up being imaginary as well. But there still are zeros because they're when y is 0, what are the x values? So with that in mind, I want you to do this one. Find all the zeros of x cubed minus 5x squared plus 17x minus 13. Find all the zeros for that. And then you guys can talk about it, do examples, and I'll show you how to do it, or at least how I do it.